Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Victor, and we're going to be looking at a network mapping or a network scanning tool. So today we're going to be looking at Zenmap. So Zenmap is the GUI version, graphical user interface version of the CLI version called Nmap. Now, once you load Zenmap, but first of all, what is Zenmap? So Zenmap is just a tool that you can use to scan your network. So a few things you want to be able to do. Anytime you're doing vulnerability assessment of a network, anytime you want to check if a network have some vulnerabilities, in terms of it might have ports that are open that might become backdoors for threat actors, if you have naming issues, because one thing you don't want to do is to have a network in such a way that people can actually do a lot of reconnaissance and footprinting on the network. You might try to investigate the network and see what the security posture of the network is like. So this is what Zenmap looks like. Quite a lot of things you can use Zenmap to do. You can also use Zenmap to like understand the topology. So in your networking, you have basic understanding of what a network is, just a medium to connect more than one device to share resources. Resources can be files, it can be email, it can be internet, you can have different types of services, different types of servers. That's what a network is. And a network can be maybe a ring topology, a star topology, a bus topology, a hybrid topology, whatever kind of topology. You can understand the topology of your network here when you run the scan. Now, and there are also different types of scan you can run. You can run an intense scan. An intense scan is going to be a scan that is actually going to bring out all of the information that is possible within your network. You have two types of basic scans, which is the UDP and TCP. So UDP is user datagram protocol. That's majorly port 53. You have other protocols that are UDP based, those protocols that are not connection based. You also have the TCP kind of ports. That's where you have HTTP, you have SMTP, and all of that. Now you have a scan that can be intense, but not necessarily a ping scan, because a ping scan will do a typical three-way handshake. Then you have some quick scan and some other type of scans. Okay, maybe in another video I will do a simple video that will differentiate all of these kind of scans and when best to use them for whatever kind of situation. Now this is the lab that we're going to be considering. We're going to look at this lab. So what is the lab about? Download and install Zenmap on your computer. So you can download Zenmap from here. So if you don't have it, you can just go over to nmap.org/download. It's a free tool. It's available on Windows, on Mac, on Linux, and any other operating system. If you're running Kali, it comes pre-shipped in Kali. If you're using Windows like I am on this particular machine, you can just click on this button and it will get you to this installer. You could click on this and install the latest stable version, and once you install that, you're going to have something like this. Now, once you're done with that, you can study and practice the user guide. The user guide is available here. So just to concretize your learning. So this is Zenmap scanning. So we'll just scan through it and understand some basics about the scan. So understand that anytime you're doing a scan, there's always a point where you are going to put in your target. So your target can be an IP address, it can be a DNS server, it can be a domain name, it can be any of those kind of digital assets. Then you select the kind of scan you want to run. Automatically it's going to be bringing out the commands. Okay, I think that's just a little brief. So this is what your output can look like, and we will just get right on it now. Now enter, so the task now is you should enter scanme.nmap.org. Now this is a URL owned by an Nmap that is publicly available for you to test. Now normally you shouldn't test this on a server, on a service, on an IP address you don't have permission to target or to test. So this is made possible. This is made available for you for learning purposes. So we just go there and we say our target is nmap.com, scanme.nmap.org. Now you see what happens. It's already entered our entire command. If we say we want to scan this, it's going to bring that out. Now understand that if you are running this scan on a Linux machine, you need to actually enter all of this command yourself. So once you toggle between the different types of scan, you see this is going to be changing, whether you want to do a full three-way handshake scan, you want to get a verbose mode, you want to get reconnaissance, you want to get operating system or details, depending on the kind of scan you want to do. I'll do a short video that is going to differentiate all of this scan, but for this video I just want to make it straightforward and short, then we can see the output and explain what we have at the end of the day. Now then select intent scan all TCP ports from the profile on the drop down menu. So I will just go here and say I want to do an intent scan, right? So an intent scan, so you see it's going to be 4. It's going to be very, very thorough. Now this might take some time, wait till it's finished, so I'll just go ahead and hit on scan. So I will wait, and it's going to attempt to scan this particular target. This is a domain or a subdomain on this particular website, nmap.org. So it's running already. It's trying to use this nmap script. So nmap comes pre-shipped with a lot of scripts that can do quite a lot of scans that have to do with DNS enumeration, scans that have to do with getting topology, looking for ports that are open, ports that are closed, and all of those. So it comes pre-shipped with most of those scripts. So once you just hit on scan, it gets activated and loads all of this for you. Subsequently, I can also show you how to create your own Python script that can do this kind of scan, and you can host it in your own machine. So if you need that, you can just type that in the comment section. Okay, we're going to wait for it. It's going to try to scan this URL. The first thing it's doing, it's identifying the IP address and understanding that it has seen 4 ports. It's now started trying to do some stealth scan. A stealth scan is a scan that is very subtle. It's not very aggressive to try to gather information. Now it found about 1,000 ports. Now we started discovering some of the ports. It has seen the port 25, which is your SMTP. It has seen your SMTP port. It has seen port 80 HTTP. It has seen 22 SFTP. It has seen 9923. It has started seeing a whole lot of ports. Now it started activating some additional scripts. Then it started doing some summaries. 995 of those ports are closed, or maybe they've been reset. Now it started seeing some 5 ports, so it scanned 1,000 ports. You should be able to interpret this. That's the aim of this guide, a tutorial. It scanned 1,000 ports. 995 of those ports, they were closed. Then 5 of them are open. So I have this SSH is open, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is open, then HTTP is open, then 9929 is open. So there's a new server running on that what's it called, on that service. Then you have 31337 TCP port open. So it has 1 2 3 4 5 ports open. Now most of the times the question is going to be, if I see a port that's open, what does it mean? So there are several things that can be a pointer to why a port is open. So when you have any application using that particular port, what it means is that that port is going to be opened. And the downside of a port being open, even when not in use, is that attackers can use that port as an inroad to the application, to the software, to the server. Now, from this basic reconnaissance, we can understand that they are using OpenSSH. They're also using 40mail. So 40mail is the provider, is the mail that this particular subdomain name is using. And of course, they're using Apache version 247. Now, when we say Apache 247, what does it mean? This is an Ubuntu server. Anytime we understand the server that a particular application is running, we can now start researching on the vulnerabilities of that particular server. Now, if we find out that it's an older server, then we can now start exploiting or exploring those vulnerabilities in that server. If it's a very more recent and updated server, then it's going to be a little bit harder. Not that it's not possible, it's going to be a little bit harder to break through. So one thing why you want to do reconnaissance and footprinting is to understand the environment, see what is the lowest hanging fruit, see older versions of applications, scripts, servers, items, then start exploring how to break through. Then you now have a niche server, then you have a TCP wrap, whatever. Now, the next thing is trying to do now is trying to understand the operating system of this particular subdomain. Now, most web servers are going to be running either Linux, IIX, that is Windows, or they're going to be running a niche or specialized kind of servers. So the way it works is that it's going to list quite a lot of possible servers and now tell you in terms of percent which one is most likely the server that that particular server is running on. So you see it has atomized HP P2000 G3 NAS 92%, Linux 5 93%, 93%, even MikroTik router 97%, but most likely is saying that this is a Linux between 5 to 5.14. So why is it not exact? Because it's a guess. It's a typical footprinting. So that's why most of the times when you're running scan vulnerability assessment or you're trying to do pen testing, you want to confirm from different scans from different tools to now make a decision on whatever you're trying to scan. Now you want to use another tool to now be very sure if it's actually a Linux server. Uptime, it's been up since 21 days. How many hops? 20 hops. That's to say that between my PC, my scan, and this particular service is around 20 networks. Now, some service info, it's showing me 40 mil. I'm just trying to explain so that you can actually interpret anytime you run your scan. Then it has some service info, quite a lot of stuff here. I think that's all with this interpretation. I can tap on the topology. It's going to show an amazing scan, an amazing graph that gives me insight on what this server looks like, right? So you see, this is my local host. This is my own server. See the hops it passed through before it got to this particular service. If I do a ping, so it's going to give me an approximate, what is it called? It's going to give me an approximate, it's going to give me an approximate, it's going to give me an approximate hop, right? Or I think I should use a traceat. Then this is going to tell me, it's going to trace the route and tell me how many hops I have. So don't forget that is just an educated guess or a kind of passive guess. So this is saying over 30 hops. This is saying around 20 hops. So give or take, it should be between 20 and 30. So from this network topology here, you can see, you can count one. This is my own service. I can tell you that because if I say this is 192.168.1.1, because if I say, let me just escape this. If I say ipconfig/all, best bet is going to tell you that my default gateway is this 192.168.1.1, and that corresponds to what I have here, 192.168.1.1, right? So after this, it now moved to the next hop. So this is going to be somewhere around my service provider. Then the service provider, my service provider is piggybacking on maybe my continental cable line, undersea cable, like that till it gets to scanme nmap.org. So it just tells you how many network it goes through till it gets to where you are heading to. Host details, yes, you can see this Linux, just a summary of most of our scans. This is the scan I performed. It shows you your scan history. Then hosts, these are the open ports, right? Okay, so let's go back to the lab. So the question is going to be, click on the host details tab and answer the following question. So is the host up? The answer is yes. Why did we say yes? Because we were able to scan, right? If you try scanning an IP address or a network and the host is down, just by trying to do a simple ping, if I ping, let's say this something abstract, right? It's going to tell me unreachable. So that's what is going to happen if you put an IP address there and it's down and it's not available. It's going to not bring all of these results. So that's to tell us that this particular host is up. Yes. How many ports are open? 5. We listed them. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most important services running on the server is up. Then we have how many ports are closed? That is 995. What's the total number of ports scanned? 1000. What IP version is the host running? I think version 4, because if we look at it, the host is 4533.32.156, right? So this is a version 4 IP address as against an IP version 6 address. If you say pings, if you say IP config/all, let's say for my system, this is what an IP version 4 address looks like, and this is what an IP version 6 address looks like. You see it, right? This is 128 bits, and this is what's my guess now? This is I think 32 bits, if my memory serves me right. Okay, let me just confirm. IP version 4 versus IP version 6, 32 bit and 128 bits, because what you have here is 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit. So that's 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. That gives you 32, right? How many bits? Just to confirm. So yes, that's 32 bits and of course 128 bits. So this particular address that we have here for the server is a 32 bit. That's IP version 4 address. So we just say IP version 4. What is the IP address? So this is it. Then which operating system is the host running on? That's Linux. So we got that from this is it. Ubuntu, Linux Ubuntu. Include a screenshot of the host details tabs output in your submission. So it's going to look like something. This is the host output. So I'll just do a screenshot. I just grab this and I'm going to have something like this. Okay, that's all. So we've successfully completed this lab. I think I can crop this out a little bit and have something like this, right? Amazing. So we've successfully completed this lab and you've understood how to use Zenmap to run basic scan, interpret them, and also do a simple report. If you want more guide on Nmap, you could subscribe and leave a comment for questions. Subsequently, I'm going to work on different types of scan. We're going to differentiate them and understand when to run which type of scan.